Mackenzie Johnston with Cattle News Central, bringing you your August 17th cattle industry headlines. Brought to you by 4T Ag Insurance, your go-to contractor for ag insurance. Colt Tritt is the owner and operator of 4T Ag. He is a one-man show. He himself ranches, so he understands all the risks that go along with the livestock industry. 4T Ag, they offer LRPs for both fed and feeder cattle. They offer PRF insurance and just about any other insurance option out there. If you want to learn more, head on over to www.4tag.net. That is the number 4, TAG.net. We're also sponsored by Circle 5 Cow School. If you're wanting to learn how to preg check your own cows or start AIing, Circle 5 Cow School is definitely the way to go. Almost every week, they are hosting classes somewhere between Texas and Tennessee. If you want to check out their schedule, head on over to circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there, or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. Meeting Place has reported, according to JBS South America, the meat giant's U.S. beef margins have begun to normalize and could be poised for an upturn as continued strong demand offsets high cattle prices. JBS Chief Executive Officer Gilberto Tommazzoni reported the company is expecting their margins to stabilize at a point which will be greater than the historical margins of the beef business. So things are looking good for JBS. An increase in cattle prices have put pressure on the company's margins, but strong domestic beef demand has remained strong, helping the company keep their profits up. Additionally, projected all-time high beef exports for this year will help JBS mitigate the negative effect of high cattle prices. Reuters has reported the South African government has put a hold on all movement of cattle in the country except for slaughter due to an outbreak of foot and mouth disease. The suspension is going to last 21 days and will then be reviewed on a weekly basis after that. South Africa currently has 116 cases of foot and mouth disease. This update is also sponsored by AgRisk Advisors. They manage your risk so you can manage your operation. They are the experts in educating, evaluating, and executing risk management programs for each individual operation while also providing top-notch customer service. Now is the time to be thinking about enrolling in the Pasture Rangeland Forage program for the 2023 crop year. If you want to learn more about this, go ahead and reach out to Alex and Naya. He can set you up with a tracking policy, so you can understand how the program works firsthand. AgRisk Advisors, risks averted, legacies preserved. The Daily Wire has reported on Tuesday, as I'm sure many of you know, President Biden signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law. This is a spending bill that's going to throw $750 billion towards healthcare, tax, and climate change. This legislation is the largest climate investment in American history and should worry us all. So to be exact, the bill will allocate $370 billion towards tackling climate change. The president and his administration claim the act will lower the cost of energy, prescription drugs, and health care for Americans. It's also supposed to combat the climate crisis, reduce our nation's deficit, and force large corporations to pay their fair share of taxes. The bill allocates $80 billion for the IRS to hire up to 87,000 new employees. Absolutely outrageous. Democrats claim this move will make sure the wealthy are paying their fair share in taxes. However, Republicans claim this will affect poorer Americans and middle-class Americans with increased audits, and that is exactly what this bill is going to do. The Inflation Reduction Act is supposed to do just as its name states. It is supposed to reduce inflation. But how in the world do you think a spending bill of $750 billion is going to reduce inflation? How does it reduce inflation when you just throw billions of dollars into this dumpster fire of an economy that we have going on here in America? That is not how it works. The Congressional Budget Office, which is nonpartisan, says there would be a negligible impact on inflation this year, and the bill would barely impact inflation at all next year. So that office, which is nonpartisan, says it's not going to have any impact on inflation, and it's not going to. Also, what this is going to do to Americans when it comes to taxes is unreal. And then additionally, I've talked about climate change a lot recently. We should be incredibly worried about how much money our administration, our federal government is putting towards climate change and how they want to tackle climate change here in America. We've seen it in other countries in recent months, how their governments have stepped up and how they want to limit their ag industries because they believe the ag industries across the world in their countries, they are the problem when it comes to environmental issues. And you can bet that our federal government, they will fall right in line with those thoughts. And we should be incredibly concerned the moves that our government is going to take to, as they think, handle this climate crisis. So our USDA Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack has responded to this Inflation Reduction Act being passed. And he believes the bill will provide significant support for farmers, ranchers, and forest landowners as they care for our nation's land, while also adapting and mitigating to climate change to ensure America remains a food-secure nation. Vilsack believes the bill's historic investments in clean energy will create good-paying jobs and more economic opportunity in rural areas across the United States. In closing, Vilsack said the bill advances the Biden administration's commitment to rural communities. It's a once-in-a-generation opportunity to build critical infrastructure to protect communities from wildfire and extreme heat and to drive climate-smart agriculture and renewable energy initiatives nationwide. That is all I have for you guys this morning. I hope everyone's week is going well. I hope some of you out there caught a little bit of rain. We caught maybe a tenth, maybe a little bit over that in the past 24 hours. Can't complain though. It has sure cooled off. Beautiful weather here in central Nebraska this week. You guys have yourself a wonderful Wednesday. I'll catch you later.